and gentlemen, welcome back everyone in another YouTube video in which I'm gonna explain to you what are the medicals required for the future Qatar Airways cabin crew. This video is gonna be a composition of several parts. I'm gonna explain to you why in the first place you need to do medicals. Then we're going to be having a guest in this video. My guest is Christina Veselinovic, or Vesela Christi, and she will explain to us what are the medical tests she has done prior to join Qatar Airways, and I have already given a small introduction to her. She is an ex-Qatar Airways cabin crew. After she has explained to us what are the medical tests that she has done, we're going to go to the part in which I'm going to explain to you what are the medical tests later on that you're supposed to be conducting in Doha. And again, with highlighting of the importance on why you are doing those medical tests. I promise you that over here you will hear informations that you never heard before, and many things that you are in a doubt will be cleared once you have a look on this video. So having this said, stay tuned until the last minute of this video. And to be able to reach the final goal of this video, which is explaining to you the medical tests, let's talk in first place, why do we need to do the pre-medicals or why do we need to do medical tests in first place? I've gotten over here the non-negotiable rules and regulations of Qatar Airways that I'd love to talk, and I love to talk so much, and I've been highlighting so much in my videos, and in one of them it says you should be in excellent health and condition. Prior to this, remember, I've said non-negotiable rules and regulations. So therefore, there cannot be any exceptions from the rule that we should be in excellent health and condition. And in order to be successful until the end in the recruitment process, we need to meet certain physical demands when it comes to our health and our fitness. The job of a cabin crew, as many other jobs in the world, is something that makes the cabin crew exposed to many risk factors when it comes to the health. Remember, if we only Google and if we only go back and see what do cabin crew do in the aircraft, we will see that they are working long flying hours. They are changing so much of time zones, which leads to the conclusion that as a cabin crew, we will be, if not always, but most of the time, jet-lagged. And especially if you're a cabin crew that is going to be based in the Middle East, in Doha, Qatar, you will literally fly all over the world and you will be in a long period of time jet-lagged. Now, I have spoken in my video over here about about the pros and cons when I was a cabin crew in Qatar Airways and how I was dealing with the sleeping management and with the jet lag. So please have a look over here. But now this video we are making, and over here I'm talking about why the medical test or the pre-medical screening is very, very important for you. Beside the long working hours, beside the sleeping disorder that we are getting, beside the jet lag as well, long working hours that I have mentioned, we are also constantly lifting heavy compartments in the aircraft. We are helping special handling customers who sometimes have heavy bags. Remember, we are not at the check-in counter to be checking what the passengers or the customers are carrying on board. And sometimes when they have heavy things, we need to be able to help them in order to properly stow them. Now, what is heavy for me might not be heavy for another person. If for me it's totally okay to lift 7 kilos within the minute, perhaps for somebody will be a struggle. Now over here comes the part that you really need to have body that has no back problems. You are literally in excellent fitness condition over here, and for you lifting bags will not be a struggle, because on one flight you can ask a gentleman member of the cabin crew to help you with the bag, which usually they are all fantastic and they're all gentlemen. I must compliment them, but that's not going to be happening on every flight. So therefore, one of the reasons over here, what I'm mentioning, why they're checking, why we are doing so particular and precise medical checks, is in order later on we will be able to perform our duties. And ladies and gentlemen, what I would like to mention over here, many of you are having their personal concerns or whether you will be eligible to be a flight attendant or not. If there is any doubt or you are having a medical condition that will stop you to be a cabin crew, Please don't be desperate, and please don't be sad, because I seriously think that we should love ourselves to a point that we shouldn't be extra exposing ourselves to a future risk when we would be joining a job, as I said, that is also there is also high level of radiation when we are flight attendants. Remember in my video about the birthmarks, in this one in particularly, I spoke about how we are exposed to radiation, and one of the reasons why we have not been accepted due to having birthmarks, because for some candidates it's like, oh, this is too much, I just have a birthmark, they didn't accept me. I have already informed you that birthmarks can be really dangerous when they are exposed to sun, or in this case we would be exposed to radiation more than the rest of the people. And again, the non-negotiable rule over here, excellent health and fitness. If we are not in excellent health and fitness, our entire journey and our entire experience as a cabin crew is not going to be the pleasant. We would most probably be there for a short period of time. We will feel disappointed, and for many out there that will go back will not be feeling motivated and will be looking at it as a negative experience. Now, prior to feel like that, please, that is the reason why you are watching this video. Listen carefully what me and Christina will share, and I hope that it's gonna help many of you out there clear your doubts and make any queries more clear. In the next part of the video, here is, as I've mentioned, Christina Veselinovic, or Vesela Christi. This is her YouTube channel, and she will be talking to us on what are the medical tests that she has done prior to join as a cabin crew within the team of Qatar Airways Cabin Crew. Pay attention, write it down, as this is 100% truthful and 100% valid information.
Hi guys, my name is Christina, I'm from Serbia and I used to fly for Qatar, so in this short part of Julia's video I want to share my experience when I got an email with the request for medical checks. Actually what I did, it was eye vision test. They check your eye vision, they check if you can see well, shapes, colors, etc. They give you some tests like, you know, that picture with small and big dots, different colors, and some dots they make some specific shape, for example number 9 or rabbit or house, whatever. So you need to tell the doctor what you see, and if you see it, then it's fine, you will pass it successfully. Next step is X-ray. They will check your spine, they will check your lungs, because it's very important for this job. It's very important that you have good spine, strong. Even if you have like scoliosis, it's not big deal if it's not big. For example, I had only 8 degrees. I know some crew, they had more, but still they got job. So don't worry about it. Just make sure that you're able to be on your legs for 10 or more hours, that you can push and pull heavy stuff, so that is fine. For lungs, you know that it's a different pressure in the cabin of the airplane, so I hope that all of you have lungs in good condition. So if you're a smoker, please stop smoking. It will make things better, so your lungs will repair, and then you will be able to get this job. Third thing is blood test. They will check if you have some viruses, if you have some illnesses, so that is nothing that you have to be afraid of. That's just for them to make sure that your health is very good. And fourth step is when you see your general doctor, they will check your ears, your throat, your nose. Again, they will hear your lungs, and they will ask you if you have some allergies, if you are taking some medications. So this is how it looks like. It's nothing difficult. Anyway, when you reach Doha, you will have to check everything again 2 times, but this is how it was 3 years ago when I was joining. I'm not sure if it's a bit different now or not. Anyway, they will send you an email with all requests, so just make sure that you meet their criteria. I hope that I helped you with this information, so watch this video till the end and write in comments what else do you want to know from me and Julia, so we will give our best to help you in this process of getting a job. All the best from me.
Now, what happens after you have sent all your medicals that you were required to conduct in your country? They have been introduced, or they have been sent to the doctors, the team of doctors that works within the Qatar Airways Medical Center, as Qatar Airways is a corporation that has its own medical center, and the doctors there that are looking at your medicals, your medical results, are actually specialized in aviation medicine. This type of doctors, they are the ones who know and who can evaluate based on those parameters that Christina has explained to you, that you were asked to check in your country. They are the ones who can decide whether you can fulfill the criteria of being something called fit to fly. Once you become a cabin crew, it's going to become more clear to you the fit to fly concept. This is also something that passengers are struggling or are getting in contact with. Very often passengers with medical conditions are needed to have a statement or to have a confirmation from their doctor that they are fit to fly in order to be passenger. Over here we're talking about fit to fly or to be in excellent health and fitness for the future cabin crew. Once you have successfully passed this stage and you have been considered as a potential fit to fly candidate, you will be proceeding with your contract, your pre-contract, and of course with your visa and your, if required, and your tickets. You have come to Doha, you are amazed by your accommodation and hopefully by your flatmate as well. And within the first week of your training, you are going to be doing the medical tests over there. Remember that the medical tests that you will be required to do in Doha are also part of your resident permit, or it's a law that the country itself is that the country itself has it, and that all of us foreigners that are working over there, we are required to pass those medical tests in order to get the resident permit and to stay in the country. The medical test that you are required to do in Doha starts with the vision test, the ones that I have mentioned in this video in particularly, so you can have a look and clear any doubts that you have. Just have a look at my video. Then we're going to the part where you're gonna be examining your chest x-ray. One more blood test in which basically they are just reconfirming whatever you have been shown from back home. They are reconfirming the presence of hepatitis A, B or C, the HIV or the syphilis, etc, etc. Many of you will be asking yourself, but I have already given them a certificate that they have asked me, and I have checked my blood, I did my blood test back home. Why do they want to do it once again? Remember that the hospital where you have done your blood checkup and Qatar, or Qatar Airways in this case, do not have an agreement for trusting each other's results. Therefore, this is absolutely understanding that you should be doing another blood test within the frame of your medicals in Doha. The drug test is obviously done with the urine sample, and this is also part of the medicals in Doha. And before coming to me and asking me how long I should be free of any drugs in order to pass the drug test successfully, I can tell you on this question that I do not know. And should you have any doubts, you should clarify with a doctor, and he or she will be the best person to ask. I will be the worst person to ask, and I won't be able to get you that question answered. You will be having a discussion with a doctor who's going to be asking you about your general health, any concerns that you have. This is the right time to expose, but at the same time, when you will be having a chance to speak with a general practitioner, get the tips, get as many tips as you can, get as many informations as you can how to stay in excellent health and fitness once you become successfully a cabin crew or once you finish the initial training of 2 months. In this scenario, you will be asked to reconfirm any scars that you have mentioned before. So if you have had any scars and you have declared them, this is the time when you will be reconfirming and talking with the general practitioner. Now, don't worry. In this case, whatever you have declared, you shouldn't be afraid to redeclare it once again, and it's staying in your file. So just be honest about it. Then comes the hearing test. We all know how the hearing test is done. If you have not done it before, you are in a small room where you have been given headphones and you basically have to keep on pressing a button when you will be hearing a sound in order to confirm with you that your ears are healthy. Remember, many of you have texted me previously that you have hearing problems. If you have hearing problems, you won't be able to pass successfully the hearing test because remember, we are flying on a high altitude in a pressurized cabin, and takeoffs and landings can be extremely painful for people who have hearing problems. Love yourself in this case. Do not go and fly just because you really want to fly. Love yourself, care about your health. If you have hearing problems, don't be desperate to get the job. We only have one health, we only have one body, and we need to take care of it because this is the place we live in our own body. And just don't jeopardize your own health just because you really want to be a cabin crew. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. The last test is psychological test. You will be having a talk with a psychologist that is going to be asking you basically personal questions. Where did you grow up? With whom did you grow up? Do you have siblings? Do you have grandparents? How was your life with your parents? And stuff like that. Very general question. But over here, what the psychologist is basically looking at you is looking on your personality and in terms of how stable as a person you are. What do I mean by saying all these things? Remember, in the aircraft you will be having an access to safety equipment. You will be having an access to so many things, and you will be required to perform so many things in the aircraft, safety related, service related. It is very important to have a healthy mental mindset, to have a healthy mind. This is something that is still, the world still, or this field, the psychology in particular, hasn't explored until the end. We never know what is in one person's mind, what would be the reason for someone to be a flight attendant, while for many of us, we are going there to travel the world, to explore, to meet new people, to basically live the lifestyle that not many have the chance to do it, meet cultures as well. We do not know, do we all in that community of candidates, do we all share the same goal why we want to be a cabin crew? And here comes the psychological test, or the psychologist with certain parameters and certain very general questions to perhaps sometimes find the right reason and prevent things from worsening. This is something that I have keep on exploring, and I have been keep on learning, as I'm a criminologist by profession, and I have passed a psychological test when I was a candidate for the police academy in Macedonia. It sounds very general. You are very relaxed because the questions that you're getting are absolutely general questions, but believe me that those psychologists are literally experts, and you just simply cannot fake it. That's all I can tell you. And I will end up this session of the video that you must pass successfully the medical tests. Any comments that you're gonna address to me later on, but I have this, I have that, will I be eligible, any medical condition that is your concern, or whether you're gonna be eligible to be a cabin crew, you can always discuss and talk with a doctor who's a specialist in aviation medicine. These doctors will be the best people to give you the right answer of your query and your doubt that you have in this case. So don't hesitate to find one. There are lots of in the world. Before coming and asking me where I can find these people, remember Google gives all the informations for free. You only need to Google aviation medicine specialist around me. And in case you are someone who was not eligible or is not in excellent health and fitness to get the job for a cabin crew, please don't be desperate. I often say this. There are thousands of works around the world that are perhaps more flexible in their requirements. Instead of sitting and feeling disappointed, just find that job that will make you happy, that will fulfill your dream in a certain way, that you will be going and upgrading yourself in that level. And remember, I've said it before and I'm gonna say it once again, we only have one body and our health is only one per person. We need to really be selfish and really take care of it. Having all these things said, thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to click like and to subscribe on my YouTube channel for the many videos that are coming up next. Until then, bye bye, have a nice day and stay blessed.